Well, we got more nonsense coming out of Kathleen Kennedy's mouth. Bit of a Star Wars heavy Sunday for you today, guys. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy says the upcoming REY film will question, does the galaxy need the Jedi anymore? Do they want them back? Well, I wonder, are you just going to pull out a new random threat? Maybe the Emperor is going to come back. Maybe REY will just morph into the Emperor and be a vessel for the maggot lord himself. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to answer that question. I.e., yeah, of course they do. And of course they do. So, yeah. I mean, okay, fine. Is this going to be like some weird disenfranchised galaxy with the Jedi? Is it going to almost become like a, I don't know, like defund the police narrative or some crap like that? It's just bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. So Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, obviously she announced this REY film, this self-insert, because that's what she's doing, you know, inserting herself into movies. And this is with Daisy Ridley. That was at Star Wars Celebration. They didn't announce anything of note, of course. Why would they? Nothing that anyone wanted. And this has been a film which has been long in the works now between, what was it? Damon Lindelof pitching it, and you got an activist directing it. It's all over the place. It's a joke. It's all over the place. But now, on Entertainment Weekly's Dagobah Dispatch, she began to reiterate a bunch of talking points that she first shared about the film at Star Wars Celebration. But it's sort of like, this is the talking piece now. Right, these are the things that they're talking about. So she went on and she said, well, as we move into the future space, which this story is about 15 years outside of the rise of Skywalker, obviously, we realise that post-war, post-First Order, rise of the new Jedi Order, we left Episode 9 with Rey making a commitment to Luke Skywalker that she would rebuild the Jedi Order. So here we are. We're ready to do... I don't remember this commitment. Did she do that? I don't remember. Is this something that... I have to go back and watch it. Like, I watched that film once and it was awful and never wanted to watch it again. But did she actually make a commitment? Because I don't remember that. Is this something that people are saying happened that actually didn't happen? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't care. Who cares? Anyway, apparently she made this commitment. She's going to rebuild the Jedi Order. And we're ready to do that. I don't think anyone else is. I don't think anyone wants to watch this. And it took a lot of discussion because, obviously, we've been developing stories in different spaces and television has been a big focus of our attention right now. But there's still so much interest in what happens after Rise of Skywalker. Who are you talking to? Apparently there's loads of interest in what happens after Rise of Skywalker. According to who? Who's telling you this? So we're excited to be doing that now. Who told you this? Honestly, who told you this? Where's the interest coming from? Because no one's interested in talking about Rey. No one's interested. I can't. But there's still so much interest in what happens after Rise of Skywalker. According to who? Who told you that? For goodness sake. So later in the podcast, Kennedy was asked about the announced James Mangold film that is expected to go back to the distant past and tell the tale of the first Jedi to wield the Force and harness it as a liberating power in an era of chaos and oppression. Now, that's the only film that sounds remotely interesting out of all of them. But Mangold's film is probably predicated on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny being a success, of which it is not going to be, because that's currently going to... I mean, it's bombing in reviews and it's probably going to be utterly shit as well. So, that's a shame. Because that was the only thing which could have been decent. But she did reply. We spoke about that anyway. So she says, we've been talking a lot about going well into the past. And one of the things that's really knitting this all together, obviously, are the Jedi. What happened with the Jedi over time? Much like history. How did the Jedi evolve? They were wiped out with Order 66. Then they gradually have been coming back. The question that we're going to ask with New Jedi Order... and with Rey is, does the galaxy need them anymore? Do they want them back? This does genuinely feel like a defund the police situation. So there's a lot of food for thought in what we're doing, whether it's in the past, present, or future. Are you trying to make out like you're being philosophical with this? Because you're really not. You just want to see your self-insert character running about again. No one, like, the fact that you genuinely think there's interest. There's interest in what happens after Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, maybe like 100 years after. Not now. No one cares. Kennedy went on to confirm that the iconic Star Wars Crawl would return for the Rey-centric movie, saying, "The Crawl's coming back, the Crawl's coming back." And when pressed on whether it was just for the Rey film, she added, "No, Crawl is for movies." Good. Perfect, I guess. God, look at it. Absolutely outrageous. So Kennedy would also be asked how she and Lucasfilm determine which stories are adapted to television through Disney Plus and which ones get the movie treatment. This is literally like throwing shit on a wall and just seeing what sticks. I think your question is one of the most interesting ones facing many of us who are doing high-end premiere television, because there's so many things we can do in streaming now where we do massive effects. We really increase the scale and size of these stories, and I certainly find myself personally looking at, well, what is that distinction that moves something onto the big screen versus the smaller screen? Basically, do you think you can earn some money from this? You're getting your budget slashed anyway for Disney Plus, so who cares? And it's usually the intimacy of the character-driven stories that you try to really push in the television space, and then spectacle that you can preserve in the movie space. Basically, I'm talking absolute bollocks. Because that's what this is. This is absolute bollocks. In a press release, Lucasfilm detailed the Rey-centric film will star Daisy Ridley reprising her beloved role. Yeah. Beloved by who? Lucasfilm. And tells the story of rebuilding the new Jedi Order and the powers that rise to tear it down. Who? Antifa? Lucasfilm has not announced the release that... Oh, fuck this film. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, this is the director. She's an activist. Scum. Absolute scumbag. Makes nothing. God, who's excited for this piece of crap? This is just going to be Antifa the movie. Defund the police the movie. But it probably not either, because Kathleen Kennedy is Rey. This is her self-insert character. What an absolute pile of wank this film's going to end up being. Like, genuinely. What an absolute pile of crap. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Cheers, guys. Take care.